This is going to be on pages 9 through 12 in your packet. There are two, the first two I want to do with you so we make sure we get good wording on the conclusions that we draw. So here we go, page 9. Oh, wait. So page 9. We know in the problems we just did that we had the variable of the age was explained, or the variable of the gender was the explanatory variable, and it was explaining the Super Bowl activity. So I want to use that same idea and take a look down here at what we've got going on. We've got a type of driver, and then we've got the car type, the origin of the car. So I can see up here on the top is our type of driver, and then on the side is going to be the type of car. So which one of those do you think is the explanatory component, the one that's explaining the other? Does the driver explain the car, or does the type of car explain the type of driver?
I don't know.
Which explains the one? Driver explains the car. Just because you have an American car doesn't mean you're a staff member. See, the driver you are, if you're a student, then you would be more or less likely to own particular types of car. If you're a staff member, you would be more or less likely to own particular types of car. So the arrows go this way because that is the direction, because the type of driver is the explanatory variable. That means that down here, these will be your denominators when you make fractions. Okay, so that helps you visually see how your fractions are going to be made. All right, so which ones are the conditional, by the way? Where's the conditional probabilities? Student and staff. It's dependent, or it's conditional upon you being a student or staff member. So this is your conditional probabilities right here. What's the marginal is this section here where you have the totals. Okay, so let's put a few fractions in there. So for the student, American students, what's the fraction that goes with American student? 115 is the numerator, and the denominator is 195. If you make that into a decimal, it's 0.9587. Sorry, 0.5987. So I'm going to round it to 0.59. Okay. Staff members. Okay, well, let's actually go on within the students because they will all have the same denominator. So this next one is 24 over 195, and so on. And then 55 over 195. Okay? All right. And then you can fill in the rest. I'm going to go ahead and tell you decimal-wise, for time's sake, what all of those percentages are so that we can compare and see if we have something that is independent or not independent. So put these in. So I can see based on this, the fact that you're a student or staff is independent of American car, because look at all those numbers. Those are the same. Here we have 12.3%, so that's 0.123. This one ends up being, when you do that fraction, 0.128. Overall, what's in the parking lot is 12.5% European cars. And then we got others. So that's going to be your we got 0.282, 0.286, and then overall 28.4%. So it's important to have to 3 decimal places because that means like 28.4%, 28.6%. Now, you must compare the conditional to the marginal. Compare conditionals to the marginal. And what you're looking for is that they are within 1 percentage point. They may not be exact, but they're going to be within 1 percentage point, because the way fractions are, you can't always have everything perfect. Okay? So now, would you say that the driver type is independent of the type of car? Independent, when the fact that you are one thing does not change the rate. So is this independent or not independent? Independent. So here's how you write this up. You say independent. This is independent. And then we're going to think of the song, because the fact that the fact that you are a staff or student member, the fact that you are staff or student does not change the rate at which you own a particular type of car. That's R. Does not change the rate at which you own a type of car. All right, so that's how you would write up a phrase for independence. Now, let's go on over to the next one. In the next one, we're not going to do all of the numbers, but let's take a look at this. This is about age category. So over here on the left-hand side, I have age. Up on the top, my variable is the blood pressure level. So those are my two variables, blood pressure level and age. And so what would be the driving factor here? What's the explanatory of the other? Age is explaining, we are seeing if age is an explanatory of changes for the blood pressure. That means which way will our arrows go?
To the right?
Yes, our arrows go left to right. Left to right. And so that means that this column over here is the denominators of the fraction. Okay, so that helps you in collecting the rest of your data. We're going to do just one set of them, one set of data. We're going to do the over 50 category and just talk about that because we're running out of time. So we know that this is would be 31 divided by 197, and that is 0.157. So 15.7% of over 50 people are that. And then, you know, the next one you can see from your chart, it's 93 divided by 197. And that's 0.472. Okay, the high ends up being 0.371. All right, I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to do these quick fractions here. So this ends up being 0.20, 0.489. And just I'll do this one fraction here. What would the fraction be for this last column for overall? What's the fraction? 147 divided by 474. Very good. That is a total of 0.31. So now, what's going on here as far as the numbers? We want to compare a conditional to a marginal. And what can we clearly say with these items? They are different. They are not the same. The fact that you are over 50 is obviously doing what? Affecting it. Okay, so we say not independent. Not independent. The fact that you are over a particular age, the fact that you are a particular age changes your blood pressure level rate. Particular age changes your blood pressure level rate. And then you have to give one specific example. For example, just pick one of them. There's lots. For example, I'm going to say over 50 age has high blood pressure at a higher rate than overall. And you have to put the specific numbers. So what's the comparison of those numbers? 37% compared versus 31%. So that is a full write-up for one that is not independent, giving a specific numerical example. So in summary, your homework is the rest of this, pages 9 through 12, homework, pages 9 through 12, and that AP question on page 5. And that's it. And the AP question on page 5.